Welcome back to the Daily Bible Breakdown. Today we're looking at Exodus chapters 16 through 18. In chapter 16 we find, no surprise here, the children of Israel are complaining again. Now it's because they have nothing to eat. And so they ask Moses, why would you bring us out here to die of starvation in the wilderness? And God explains his plan to miraculously feed his people by sending bread from heaven, which they would call manna. And it was also a test of their faith and trust in God to provide for them, because he sent just the right amount for them to gather every day, and it lasted for that day and that day alone. On the sixth day, though, he was going to send a double portion because they were instructed to rest on the seventh day. So we see that pattern of the Sabbath being taught to them now, which will become law very soon when the Ten Commandments are given. In chapter 17, we find that now they're in Rephidim and they need water. And so what do? Forgetting about how God had already provided for them miraculously, they complain and go so far as to threaten to kill Moses for leading them out into the wilderness like this. But God miraculously provides water from a rock. And this is an important instance for us to remember as we move through the rest of Moses' life. Moses was instructed in this case to strike the rock with his rod, which he does, and water comes out of that rock. And that is actually intended to be a picture of Christ, as we'll see as we continue our study of the Bible. Later in chapter 17, we find that the children of Israel face their first battle with another foreign nation. They go up against the Amalekites. Here we're introduced a little bit more to Joshua, who leads the army of the Israelites against the Amalekites. And we find this interesting miracle where as long as Moses keeps his arms up above his head, they prevail in the battle. But the moment he lowers them down, they start to lose. And so by the help of Aaron and Hur, he's able to hold that rod up above his head through the entirety of the battle, and they win. In chapter 18, we find that Moses is reunited with his family, his wife Zipporah, their children, and his father-in-law Jethro, who immediately sees that Moses is struggling trying to manage these millions of people as their only leader. And they come to him with every kind of problem and dispute, and he has to judge between them. And Jethro gives him that great advice. He says, you will soon die from burnout if you keep trying to deal with all these cases by yourself. You need to delegate. You need to get some other men that you can trust to help you with these daily duties of presiding over disputes. And so that's what Moses does. And that brings us to the end of our Daily Bible Breakdown for today. We'll see you in the next episode.